everyone. I'm going to make sure that I am live. We are live. Here we are, Sunday. Oh my God, today is what, October the 31st. It's Halloween. Wow. At any rate, I'm Jacqueline Harrison. You are joining me for a Queen's Roundtable show, which is I keep wanting to say every second, fourth Sunday, which is every Sunday of the month at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as you know, typically the purpose of the show is I bring on a different entrepreneur and we talk openly and honestly about entrepreneurship, the ups and the downs, right? The good and the bad. And we always end on a note of encouragement, inspiration, positivity, as well as giving practical tools that you can use. I mean, like start using like right now in order to scale your business. Now, today we're going to switch it up a little bit. We're doing things a little differently today. Okay. So I'm actually going to be interviewed today on the show by my co-host here, which is Miss Joy Brown, who is the proud owner and CEO of 3EEE Consulting Services. So we're going to go ahead and get started.
All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I am super excited to be with you on the Queen's Roundtable and podcast with my lovely guest, Miss Jacqueline Harrison. And as she said, I am going to interview this phenomenal, dynamic lady because she has some things going on, y'all. And I want her to tell you all about how you can stay connected to her. So, Miss Jacqueline, before we get started, tell our listening audience about yourself.
All right. Well, a little bit about me is, let's see. So I'm actually a clinician. A major. Sorry, didn't mean to put that up there, y'all. A little bit of a slip there. So I'm actually a clinician, and I've been in the field for like 20 plus years. I know I'm dating myself, but I've been in the field for a minute. I actually started Realizing Your Potential in 2016. And I originally started the business because I wanted, like in my personal life as well as my professional life, I had noticed that so many African-American women were in a place of like, lack of abundance, low self-esteem, low self-confidence, right? Just really operating at a very low vibration, which of course that permeates throughout their life. That impacts the decisions they make in terms of the relationships they choose, in terms of the jobs that they choose, or whether they choose to stay at a job, start their own business, how they interact with their families, so it permeates throughout your whole life. And my personal experience with coming from a place of just feeling that I wasn't that smart, that I didn't really deserve better, I wasn't smart enough, I didn't have the resources. It was always me looking out at someone else and cheering them on and said, oh, they can do it, they can do it. But when it came to me, it was like, I don't think I can. So, I placed myself inside of a box and I just didn't, I would like bump my head every now and again, but I was very conscious of that and just kind of stayed like in my place, so to speak, So I said to myself, since I was able to create unshakable confidence, I wanted to be able to help other women do the same. So that's a little bit about me, like in terms of how I started and what my why is behind my business and why this is so important to me. I love to see women shine. It's just something about like when that light bulb goes off and they're like, wow, I have all of these innate abilities and innate qualities, and just, they recognize it and they walk with their head high and they don't dim their light for anybody. So,
right. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. That's one of the things we were able to connect on the Sean Fair Leadership Experience Tour. And hearing your story, I was like, I definitely got to connect with my sister because, my platform is about educating, equipping, and empowering, especially women, to walk boldly in their gifts and talents, to unlock their passion, purpose, and potential. And so, Jacqueline, I understand you have some exciting news. Did I hear right? Because I be listening everywhere, that you have a new anthology coming up. So tell us about that.
Okay. So thank you for asking, Joy. So in that idea of empowering women, women's empowerment, I came up with the idea that I wanted to put together a collaboration, and the title of it, by the way, is Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within. And
Mm,
what it is, it's going, the idea behind it is to be a collection of stories from women sharing their personal stories about their adaptability, their resilience, their strength, how they bounced back, to
mm,
be able to, again, the same thing, to provide inspiration and hope and courage to other women. You know what I mean? Because you never know. Well, put it like this. I've come to learn. Like I said, there was a
mhm,
time that I didn't think I had anything to say. I
mhm,
mean, especially worth people listening to, or of any
mhm,
real value.
mhm,
But I've come to learn the power of my story, the power of your story,
mhm,
the power of everyone's story. There's power in that. And even if it's just one person that may hear it at that time, that may make the difference between them, I don't know, maybe
mhm,
leaving their 9 to 5 and fully believing in themselves. Therefore,
mhm,
they begin to open their own business, or maybe they're in a domestic violence or a very toxic relationship or marriage, and maybe they decide, you know what, no more. Today is the day. It ends now. And begin to transform their lives and
mhm,
begin to let the world see their talents and their gifts, because
mhm.
people benefit from that. Not only do you benefit from it, living in your purpose, but also all of those, just think about all of those individuals that you can impact in a positive
Mhm.
way.
Oh, thank
So
you so
that's the
much.
idea. Yeah.
Of the anthology. Oh, that's powerful. Like you said, one thing about is our story is really not for us. It's really to share it with others, because you don't know the life-changing impact that you may have by your story. So thank you so much for sharing that. So I heard you say it's an anthology. So what an anthology is, that is a combination of stories from various authors. So are you looking for some co-authors?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I am looking for, you could be a first, you could never have written anything before, maybe, or maybe you have been a part of several other anthologies. I'm looking for women that are interested in telling their story. And again, don't shy away to these to help you. Because the idea behind it is I want you to be able to share your story, because again, that's therapeutic. For the writer themselves, as well as other people can benefit from the story. And also, I'm hoping that through the process of your own anthology, I hope that it doesn't stop there. And we all know that a book leverage tool for those of you that are in business. So I'm saying all that to say, if you can be an entrepreneur or not, all is welcome. But I'm looking for women that want to share their stories of, like I said, courage, strength, adaptability. Um, yeah, so I really, really encourage you to link up with Joy and I, and let's get this party started. Let's go ahead and do this.
Oh, yes. Now, women, you heard her say we're looking for everybody. Everybody has a story, and this is time for your voice and your story to be heard. And again, so calling our authors to the floor, calling our authors to the floor. Please connect with myself or Miss Jacqueline Kebab Harris for this phenomenal. So, talk about some of the benefits of this project.
Okay, so I mentioned a couple, but again, so when you share your story, just like when you do talk therapy or counseling,
Mhm,
I know, some of us don't necessarily believe in counseling, but just think about it like this. Whenever you talk about something or you share something, that's beneficial to the person that's sharing.
mhm,
It's also beneficial to, like I said, the individuals receiving that message, and someone may receive that message in 2022. Somebody may pick up your book and actually read it in 23 and benefit from that same message. Also, it gives you, and I just think about the collaboration work that happens here.
mhm,
Think about how many people you actually come across that are actually going to be a part of the project. You know what I
mhm,
mean? Because hopefully everyone will exchange information, and we'll build
mhm,
like a little small network, and we'll continue to collaborate. So that's one of the benefits of it. Also, when you have an actual, a book that you're participating in, that's an excellent leverage tool to be able
Mm-hmm.
to leverage your business
Mm-hmm.
and to show your skills, to show your expertise.
Mm-hmm.
Also, some other advantages are we're going to Joy and I are really going to do an excellent job of getting each co-author out there. Okay. Because the thing of it is, we don't want you to be the best kept secret. Okay. Because people
Mm-hmm.
can't reach out to you and take advantage of your services if they don't even know you're out there, right? If they don't even know you're out there, they don't know who you are. So it's going to be a great deal, not only centered around helping develop you as an author or as a writer. Okay. And secondly, you're going to be interviewed on different live shows, different
Mm-hmm.
podcasts, magazine features, and so forth to be able to increase your visibility. So that's going to increase your
Mm-hmm.
visibility as a co-author, as a part of this project, but also drive more business and leads to your actual business. Right? Yeah, drive more business to your business, right?
I
Because
love
more
that.
people are going to know who you are and what you offer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think if I'm leaving anything out. Am I? Establishing more credibility.
Mm-hmm.
As a business owner, as an expert in your field, that is going to establish a lot more credibility for you. So the credibility, visibility, expanding your brand,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, along with networking
Mm-hmm.
and some more skills to add under your belt. I mean, what do you think, Joy? Did I miss anything?
No, you didn't. I just want to share with our listening audience. I'll give my own personal testimony. I have, again, am a best-selling international author, and so I got a chance to participate in two anthologies. So the first anthology, again, someone reached out to me that I knew that was a part of my network. So as Jacqueline said, it's a great way to network. But just say, hey, have you ever thought about, writing or being a part of a book? And I was like, no. And so I went to the meeting and got a chance to understand kind of what the book was about, and then figuring out, okay, what were we talking about? So my first book was called Silhouettes of Authentic Coaches for Mind, Body, and Soul. And so I said, okay, so again, we were looking for all coaches in different areas. And so my first story was about my transformation with my weight loss. So you may be out there thinking, like, I don't know what I can say, I don't know if I have a story. But again, and every time I write, I focus on what story do I want to tell, because we all have stories. And I said, this book that Jacqueline is doing is about Born to Lead, awakening the leader within you. And so we all have that great story of resiliency, of how we overcome. And so that's just life. So I know you have a great, mighty testimony, a great story that's going to be able to share. But as Jacqueline said, you talk about increased visibility, getting yourself out there, getting credible. And again, you're speaking from a place that you've been and how you overcame. And that could be a blessing to someone else. So I highly recommend, if you ever thought about it or if you've done some other ones, this is a great opportunity to just come on and learn a little bit more. And Jacqueline, you have something else coming up this week. So if they want a little bit more information, I know you'll be sharing more. What's happening this week?
You know what? Also, before I kind of jump into that, Joy, I just want to kind of piggyback off of
Mhm.
what you just said. Well, what should I say? Or is my message? Oh, well, that's not what they're looking for. And I'm glad that you brought that up about the whole weight loss journey. Like I had no idea. But that's a journey. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? That is in order to be able to take control, because you had to take control of your weight. You had to take
Mhm.
control of your health, right?
Yeah.
So that if you have a weight loss story, whatever it is, it's your journey, it's your story, and someone will benefit from it. And if you're not quite sure, then just reach out to one of us and ask. Okay, so I want you to know that it doesn't have to be, because sometimes people automatically think like, oh, I have to have been to hell and back, in order for anybody to value my story. And I say that because that's what I used to think,
Mhm.
that, oh, you know what I mean? Like I have to have some near death experience. Now, if you did, that, obviously I would love for you to tell your story, would love for you
Mhm.
to tell your story. But so whatever the story is, believe me, someone can benefit from it. If it
Mhm.
results in you, becoming closer to yourself, really
Mhm.
understanding yourself, putting yourself first, that's something that someone would benefit from.
Right. Not only
Yeah.
that, it's sometimes almost what you even said, Jacqueline. Sometimes you go through a situation and then you come out of it and you said, wow, look what I learned about myself. I didn't realize I had all of that in me. That right there is a powerful story. It's almost like that comeback story. It's almost when people doubted you, and I always say talked about you, try to put you in that box, you be like, oh, no, no, because I believe in myself and I know that there's greater. And so we want to hear about that greater story. We want to hear about how when others, doubted you, oh, your dream killers that they said no, you're never going to do that, and how you persevered and how you overcame. That right there is a story worth to be told.
Yeah. You know what? I like that you. I'm so glad that we're having this conversation because, like, there's a lot of women entrepreneurs out there that started a business from nothing. They didn't get no business loan. They didn't have any insurance money. They started out. Maybe they might have been, sitting with an eviction notice, or may have been homeless, or maybe even if it wasn't quite that, you started a business from nothing, and you've created a tribe. You are now an influencer. You're a leader. You're a leader. So these are the types of individuals that we want on the project. Because again, remember, the idea of it is when people read the book, they may identify with your story, they may identify with someone else's story, or maybe they may identify with 3 or 4 of the co-authors in the book. But remember, it's to help individuals in all different types of situations. And what we're really looking for is people that want to share their stories of transformation.
Yes.
Okay, so just keep that in mind.
That's
So, were you gonna say something else, Joy?
I know. I said that's great. Like you said, it's about sharing how you were doing your transformation, how you overcame. Especially like you said in business, we have a lot of those who are business owners. How you maybe had to pivot in your business. How did you start your business, or how did you had an idea which birthed the business, and maybe that's not your first idea, and the struggles within business, because sometimes you got to work your business out. If you don't work your business will not be worked. And so I always say that. And so we want to hear from you all, powerful women, to share your story. This is your time to share your story with some phenomenal women who are going to, like you said, build our partnership, build our collaboration, and build our network. Even if you have an idea, say, I have this idea. That's all I have. We want you to come on out. Come on out. What's happening next week, Jack? Then come on out.
Yes. All right. Here we go. So, to learn more about the projects, more particulars, we are doing 2 informational meetings. Okay. And the first one is going to be November the 2nd, which is a Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The second informational meeting is going to be on the following Sunday, which is the 7th, right, Joy?
Yes.
Which is November the 7th, and that's going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So again, that's an opportunity to, hear more about the project, more details about the project, and an opportunity to ask any questions that you may have. And just, get an opportunity maybe to meet some of the other individuals that are, on the project as well. So, I know some people work, some people, that's why we're doing 2 meetings, to be able to give you an opportunity to see, what will fit best in your schedule. Or if you want to attend both meetings, it's up to you. But definitely, I would say, attend and just ask whatever questions you have. And it's just an excellent opportunity to be able to just kind of put yourself out there, and to grow as a person. Like, what, Joy, would you say that when you've done 2 anthologies, right?
Yeah, I've done 2.
Okay. Do you feel like you've grown as a person in
I would say that even with the first one, like my first one was brand new. I was like, okay, we're going to start this. But again, one of the things we did, we had this network of women. We talked about it. And it's amazing because, again, as the visionary, when you get the chapters, like you kind of know the order and you're figuring out the book. But it was amazing when after we did our launch and we actually got to hear little bits about each person's chapter. It was magical. It was like that you all knew what I was talking about. You all knew had peeped into my chapter. And even with the second anthology, again, you met often, you know, we had progress meetings. We talked about different strategies of how to write. And it wasn't until we actually had that launch where the visionary goes around and everybody's going to mention what they talk about, how the book just comes together. So it is something about, and I always say it's about divine appointment, who's in these projects and having their story to tell and putting it all together. You're going to be blown away, because every single anthology, I'm like, wow. And the funny thing is, like, you don't know what the other person is writing about. Yes, you may know your title, but that's it. But you don't really know all the meats into, you know, the editing or anything of that nature until you get the whole proof. But it is something. And so I would say do it. It has been one of the best decisions, because if somebody would ask me, Joy, would you have author under your belt? I don't know if that was been one of my titles that I knew about, but I knew I had to enjoy writing this blog and posting stuff. And I said, well, maybe this could one day be a book. Well, little did I know, 3 months later, God answered that prayer. And then I'm on my second book. And not only that I do believe there's another book coming out of me. So, and it just births different stuff. But again, it's a great way to get, you know, out there to tell your story, to increase your visibility and your brand. And so definitely do it. Just come on out, y'all. Just come on out.
And I'll reiterate this again, because I'm saying this because I know this is what I thought. When I initially would see advertisements for joining book collaborations, I would be like, oh, I'm not a writer. You know, either it was, I don't have nothing worth anybody else, you know, that'd be beneficial, or two, oh, I'm not a writer, you know. So get that out your head. If you have a story, and if you don't consider yourself a writer, okay, that's fine. That's okay. But remember, there are going to be opportunities to receive assistance with that. We're not just going to throw you out there and be like, okay, go write your stuff. You know, if you need help, oh, that's too bad. You know, so just keep that in mind, that there are going to be opportunities to help you through the process. And like I said, once you got that under your belt, you have it under your belt. You know how they say knowledge is power. Once you have that, like I said, you can do a lot with that. So just keep that in mind. So definitely just mark your calendar. I'll say it again, and it's not on the screen here, but it's in the write-up. The 2 informational meetings that we have is going to be this upcoming Tuesday, which is November the 7th. I'm sorry, November the 2nd. November the 2nd. And that's going to be Tuesday. It's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the following Sunday, which is the 7th, at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what, Joy? When does daylight saving? When does the time go back? It's not next week, right?
I don't think so.
I think it's the week after, y'all. I don't know. But double check it, because I don't mix up the times, because I know we're getting ready to do that fall back and go back an hour. But we're on Eastern Standard Time. So okay, so go ahead, check, like I said, check when the time goes back, and go ahead and mark your calendar and join us. And you can hear, like I said, hear more details and ask whatever questions you have. Okay, and if you know anyone, please share this broadcast out. Okay, because there may be some other people that you may know that may be interested in the opportunity. You never know. Like I said, if you know somebody that didn't catch the broadcast, share it out and maybe tell them about it. Say, hey, come on and join me for this informational meeting.
Right. Jacqueline, that was great. I was going to say, yes, so if you have a sister girl, you know, you and your girlfriend be talking, y'all have these great stories. Y'all should be like, hey, have we ever thought about being in a book together? How about we jump on this anthology? We could all be in the same book at the same time and telling our stories. Or let's go to this informational session. But yeah, so please share this, invite another sister, because again, we are all born to lead, and we want to wake the leader within. And so we are looking forward to it. We are going to build this Born to Lead collaboration network of sisters. It's going to be phenomenal, y'all. We want y'all to be plugged into this thing.
Yeah, I am so excited, everybody. I am so excited. So, you know, don't sleep on this opportunity. All right, you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself. Remember that. All right. So I don't know. Did you have anything else you want to share?
No, I didn't, Jacqueline. I was going to ask them, how can they connect with you?
Okay. All right. So everyone, that concludes for today. So again, a Queen's Roundtable show, do it every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're interested in being a guest on the show, you want to increase your visibility, expand your brand, and actually show up as the expert that you are, I welcome you to apply to be a guest on the show. The show is also streamed on, well, we stream live on Facebook as well as YouTube. And it also goes to the Women Win Television Network, which is a Christian-based all-women network. Did y'all hear me? A Christian-based all-women network that is centered around women's empowerment. All right, so keep that in mind. But at any rate, you can reach out to myself or Joy at any time, and just make sure you're on the informational call. And of course, if something happens and you just can't make either of those dates, but you're really interested, reach out to us. Okay. Yeah, reach out to us, and we'll direct you from there.
All right. We look forward to seeing you all.
All right. Talk to y'all soon.